last week, I don't know if you were familiar or not, the crime committee, the state of Missouri, finally did have its first hearing on legalization of cannabis in the state. I do believe that it was sent to that committee to die, but the positives we did take out of that hearing was the overwhelming majority of the committee members are for medical marijuana. I see you, as a pharmacist owner, I would love to see you get behind, either put forward a bill or work with Chris Kelly on making one happen, because the reps are telling us that they'll pass one. And there's a lot of suffering patients in this state who need it. And it is a huge,
let me tell you where I stand on that.
A huge tax. Tax, it'll bring jobs. And the hemp, we were the second largest producer of hemp. You know, hemp alone could bring in a lot of jobs, and with the federal government easing, right? But I think they both intertwine, and I'd like to see you actually maybe work on both those bills.
They're different things, but let me tell you where I stand. Okay, I have never used marijuana. Okay, so I don't know what it does for you. Okay, I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what it does. Being a pharmacist, I have studied the chemical aspects of marijuana. Just this last week, maybe this will make you happy. Just this last week, a couple other state reps came to me, and we have decided to go to Denver, Colorado this summer at our expense. So we're going to study and visit the hospitals and talk to the patients that are using medical marijuana. I'm not telling you I'm for it or against it.
Will you submit to a drug test when you get back?
I will always submit to a drug test. I will always submit to a drug test. I'm just telling you, I'm open-minded. At this point, you know, I see a lot more negatives than positives, but I'm open-minded. I'm going to take my time, my money, and fly to Denver with a group, and we're going to only go and see medical marijuana. No recreational marijuana, just medical marijuana. And I'm going to bring other healthcare people with me. So there'll be a team of 6 or 8 people that will go and objectively look at it. Now, I want to make sure that if we ever had it in the state of Missouri, that medical marijuana would be written by a physician, and it also would be dispensed only in a pharmacy or hospital. Now, I had 2 professors at Missouri State last year accuse me that when I said that to them, they say, "Oh, you're just interested in making more dimes. I've got enough dimes, so I don't need it."
The problem right now with
what I don't want people saying they're using it for medical marijuana and then coming out. We got enough people driving the way it is. Got enough people existing the way it is. So I'm just going to study it from a medical.
It being illegal isn't stopping anyone who wants to use it from using it. But the issue with having only the pharmacies and hospitals dispensing it at this point, it's federally illegal. You can't do it in any state in the nation.
No, we can change it. We can change it.
I do know, because the Missouri State Constitution does state you can write a law that doesn't coincide with the federal law.
It can be changed, because a lot of the medical marijuana
I think you're going to see
is used by IV, given by IV, not by mouth, by PO. Now, we have medical marijuana today. It's called Marinol. Marinol is a little capsule.
Right, but that's a synthetic form of THC. It doesn't have any derivatives from the plant, and it's a lab-created synthetic, and it has killed 6 people. It doesn't do the same thing. So they're supposed to be changing over this year and putting real THC and getting rid of the lab-created synthetic, and I'm curious to see how that works.
It also has saved and prolonged lives too.
Yes.
Not just
but
okay, marijuana kills people too.
Yeah.
It's never killed anybody.
Patsy has
I would like to say something. I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I do not like to hear people say that we can legalize recreational marijuana to get 25% taxes. I think that is a disgrace to say, and I think it's bad that we think we're going to use our children to raise taxes. I think that's sad.
We did that with liquor.
I don't. That's problems too.
I know we did. Liquor and everything.
I think that illegal marijuana has killed people.
The black market is killing people. The black market is what's killing people, because it's not stopping anyone from using it, and they're having to go to somebody who does an ID to get it. He doesn't care who he sells it to.
But there are probably cases out there that you have never heard about where somebody has had a wreck and been killed or killed somebody because they were under the influence of marijuana.
I would beg to differ, and I would guarantee you that the rate of alcohol driving accidents is 100% higher of people driving under the influence of alcohol than under marijuana. And the problem you see, I'm a patient's rights advocate here in Missouri, is when they drug test for marijuana, your problem is heroin, meth, all these bad drugs, they're out of your system in 72 hours. You pee clean. Someone who's under marijuana, if they've smoked it 30 days prior, they're not going to pass their piss test. And that car wreck is now listed as a marijuana-related offense, and they were never under the influence.
Well, okay, so the jury's not out. The good news is there's enough open-minded people. I'm not for it, I'm not against it, I really have some reservations. But I will take the time this summer. And Chris Kelly is one of the smartest guys up there in Jefferson City. I will guarantee you.
I testified at that committee hearing.
He's a Democrat, he's the opposite party of Kevin's and mine, but I really respect the man. The man is a very smart man, and he has so much institutional knowledge, and he's terming out. He's terming out. And it's unfortunate that he couldn't work another couple of years because he's one of the smartest men up there in Jefferson City.
Yeah. Why didn't you have term limits on representatives?
Well, I know.
We voted for it.
We only got ourselves to blame on that one.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Let me ask you, because this is important. Dr. Roy Holan, MD, orthopedic surgeon, retired in Springfield. He and I are working on a bill that would actually put term limits on Congress, because most of the people who voted on the term limits here in Missouri thought they were voting on Congress, not just the state. Most of them thought. And when you look at Congress, their rate of approval is probably the lowest in maybe the history of our country. And at the same time, you see people there in 30 or 40 years. I think the problem we have is probably 8 years is not enough in this state. Maybe 12 or 16 would be better. Combination of one or the other, or both, of House and Senate. I'm not one to be up there much longer, okay, because I want to do the very best I can for this county, and I want to be like a relay race. When I leave that office, it will be better than when I left, just like my own office. I tore out the carpet, put wood flooring in. Tore out the countertop, put a laminate, granite countertop. Painted the walls, did all that stuff with my money, not taxpayers' money. So when somebody takes that office, they won't have to take that ugly office that they gave me. Because I built a beautiful office. So all the bills and all the work I do is going to be like a relay race. I'm going to win my lap, and then when it comes, some man or woman's going to get right behind me, and they're going to have a clean slap, and they're going to be running just as fast. They'll never lose stride, because we'll make some changes in this state.
Yeah, I'm not against term limits, but I think 2 terms, sometimes
it's 4 terms of 2 years.
Okay.
But that means that means that every other year, instead of trying to but I promise you, I've got an opponent in November, and I won't take him lightly, but I am not going to be campaigning when I'm working, okay? Because that's unfair for us. That's unfair for us, because every other year he's had to do the same thing. He's had to try to campaign or figure out how to campaign when his opponent's already way ahead of him, because he's not working up in Jefferson City. And if you think that's only a 4-day-a-week job, you're wrong. I just left to get here to visit a dentist in town that's got a problem with the state. Okay? And just before that, I visited with a nice man from Ozark whose wife works for New Wave Cosmetics that had Kelly Services do their W-2, and guess what they did? They put Springfield, Illinois on the W-2. So now when they went to get their taxes prepared, they couldn't get their taxes prepared. So now I'm working with the Department of Revenue to get that changed.